Hello everybody, it's Analog Dinosaur, and this is actually it's my first YouTube video that I'm making. So like maybe I'm a little bit nervous, and I haven't done this a lot before, but I wanted to talk to you today about why it's like 2018, and why am I still shooting film? Like we have all these really nice digital cameras, and like they take great photos as well, but what I want to say actually about film, why I shoot film, is because it's really like changed my attitude to photography. Because when I started photography, I started on digital, and I was it was good because I could shoot a lot of photos and I could get the immediate feedback. But once I got a little bit more advanced, I kind of actually needed a new challenge, and by changing to film, I got that challenge. So here's just like five quick points of why I shoot film. So first of all, why I love film is because since these cameras are so simple, like there's no screen, and in this one there's not even any electricity. So since the technology is so simple, it really allows me to be present in a moment. In a moment that I'm photographing, the camera is like, it's almost like it's not there, and I get to be totally immersed in the world that I'm shooting. Because if I was checking my screen, and like if my camera was more complicated, I would maybe miss the key moment that I actually wanted to capture. So that's point number one. Point number two is I love the negative, because the negative that I get from these rolls of film that I shoot, it's always going to be like a permanent physical object. When you got a digital photo, like okay, maybe you can make a print out of it, and then it can also become a physical object. But the thing is that really, like, a digital photo is a series of zeros and ones. It's things on like a memory card. But when I have the negative, I can actually look at the photos. I don't even need electricity, and the photo is always going to be there. And when you think about it for a second. Like if you have a hard drive with let's say like 200,000 photos, and you lose that hard drive, whereas like if you have a sheet of negatives and you lose those sheet of negatives, like which one's going to be a bigger deal? And the thing is also, I can actually scan my negative, so I get to see also the digital file, but then I also have the negative, which is probably, let's say like in 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, I probably still have the negatives that I shot today, which is fucking awesome. And brings me to point number three. So, once you start shooting with film, when you work with film, it totally slows down your workflow. So, when you're with digital photos, you're just used to like taking a photo and you see it straight away. It's like, and that's it. It's like, for me, like, I started to get a little bit frustrated with that, because, I would take a photo and I thought like, man, it's an awesome photo. Then I would have a look at it, and then I'm like, actually, maybe it's not so good. And then it would kind of put me down on my photo walk. But with this, there's this like, the patience that you have to develop to, shoot a photo, and then maybe, whenever you want to develop it, you can develop it at the end of the day, or, like I do it, I develop a big batch of film every like half a year. It gives me the time to forget about the photos that I took, and then I get to like see them again. And for me, it's just so much more exciting. And this brings me to my point number four, which is that in film, because of this fact that, unless you're shooting a Polaroid, like, you only get to see the picture after a little while, there's always a little surprise element, because you never, you can always think and see in your mind's eye, like, this is how the picture is going to be. But you never really know, like, for sure what you got until you see the negative. And the cool thing that happens to me, and probably a lot of other film photographers, is like, I'll take like a shot that I think, okay, I'll just take this. I think it's a nice photo. I'll just take it. And then I take another scene. It's like, wow, fucking awesome. I want this. And I shoot that. And then, I compare those two photos. And maybe, oftentimes, like the photo that I thought, okay, it's just it's going to be an okay photo. That one turns out to be way better than the photo that I thought was good. So, you know, in this way, like when you shoot film, you kind of more, since you're more immersed in the process, you're not seeing the end result, you're more focused on the process. So it kind of allows you to let go, to really let go of the end result, because you can't control it, because, you know, once it's on film, it's on film. You can try to Photoshop it, or, you know, like you can do some things in the darkroom, but pretty much like what you shoot is what you get. So for me, that's also kind of liberating. And, you know, of course, you get also these really cool random effects like light leaks, or, you know, maybe you'll get like hair on negative, or you get like maybe the negative gets a little bit heated up, or like you're shooting some expired film and you never really, and even, you know, when I shoot a picture of the same thing, with the same film, the same lighting conditions, they still turn out differently. So that's also really cool. And yeah, and, you know, overall, because since I shoot like this, since I let go of the end result, I also let go a little bit of the control. So since I do that, I just get to be more immersed in my photography. And, you know, of course, my last fifth point is, you know, as you can imagine, if you have a roll of film, which, you know, for example, I got in here. So this is like, it's 36 pictures. Whereas, you know, on the memory card that's on this camera that's recording this video, it's like, I could take probably like over 1,000 photos. You know, if I wanted, I could just go, and I could shoot myself 100 times. And, you know, when I think about that, versus when I have a frame in here, one frame, it's like, there's actually more pressure on you when you're shooting film, because, you know, you're gonna be paying a little bit of money for each photo. So, you know, for some people, you know, maybe that's really not what they want. If you're really starting out, or like you don't have a lot of money, you want that digital camera because there's no risk. But actually, you know, I find that when I have the risk, there's always the risk of taking a shit photo. But when I know that I'm paying for the photo, it really makes me so much more focused on each frame as an individual, like really handcrafting and like doing whatever I can to make that frame stand out. So in the end, by having less quantity, I actually end up getting a lot more quality. And, you know, I'm not even kidding. I can shoot, there's times like I shot 500 digital photos a couple of days in a row, and I got like 0 good frames that I like. And then I take a roll of film, maybe I spend a little bit longer, like a day or 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. And I find like, yeah, there's actually 10 good frames that I like here. And, you know, so you see where I'm going to. So anyway, thanks for watching my first video. There's gonna be probably a lot more. Like, I'm not exactly sure where this channel is gonna be going, but it's about sharing this knowledge of film photography that I accumulated over the years. So I don't know, peace out and shoot film and be good.